Hello friends, welcome to UPSC CSE in English with Siddhi Bangard. So folks, let's start without much delay. Briefly about me, I am Siddhi Bangard and I have 3 years of teaching experience. I graduated from BIT Mesra, appeared for 4 mains and an interview. I also cleared RBI Grade B and also qualified for all the MBA exams. Welcome to UPSC CSE in English with Siddhi Bangard. And I also did my MBA in HR from XLRI Jamshedpur. With that, folks, let me introduce you that what you get at Unacademy. So you get daily life classes, you get structured courses, and you also get live test and quizzes and unlimited access to our more than 200 courses which are recorded live or upcoming. You get access to all of them. With that, folks, I would also like to introduce my Unacademy Iconic program. It is a unique program for freshers and for those who have been trying at UPSC for multiple times. So why? Because the first or the newcomers, they don't know which way to go. And for those who have been trying for some time, they are not able to identify what they are doing wrong. So the program addresses both these needs. In the Iconic program, you get a personal coach who tells you how to study effectively, who tells you more about the exam, helps you choose your optional, helps you understand how to cover the GS syllabus, which is huge. There are 4 papers in GS. Also helps you how to make notes and how to read the newspaper so that you are up to date with the current affairs. Helps you with evolving a study tracker, sharpens your answer writing skills, tells you how to write essays, and finally also helps you through the interview stages by helping you fill out the detailed application form which is filled once you clear the prelims, and also does personality development for interviews. So it's like if the same telecom operator is giving 2 plans, then Unacademy Plus program is at a slightly lesser price, and it offers you one of the best facilities for self studies. Just like in this program, which is a very basic program, it offers you Amazon free subscription, it offers you 75 GB data, it also offers you 2000 GB rollover data. That means benefits after paying 500 rupees, you get benefits worth rupees 2500. And similarly, this is our Iconic program where you pay almost slightly higher price, but you get the data calling or the voice calling and much more. Somewhere the benefits worth rupees 20,000. Similar is our Iconic program where by having a personal mentor, you don't even realize what kind of benefits you get. They're just simply huge for a slightly higher price, and it's up to you now to decide whether you want to have a very basic program with Unacademy or take advantage of its Iconic program, which will help you from stage 1 of the exam, that is the prelims, till the stage 3 of your exams, that is the interviews. With that, for the plus program, our fee is 44,000, which becomes less than 40,000 if you use my code SPSIDHI. And for a 2-year subscription to Unacademy Plus, our fee is 64,000, which reduces to less than 58,000 if you use my code SPSIDHI. For the Iconic, our 2-year courses have a payment of 90,000 if you use my code SPSIDHI, because that gives you an instant 10% off. And our 1-year Iconic subscription, which is our best-selling Iconic program, is for less than 58,000 if you apply our code. 10% off will be given to you with the code SPSIDHI. With that, choose wisely. Choose Unacademy when you are already on YouTube watching the Unacademy channel. You have done these two. Choose Iconic for better results in the UPSC exam. The 1-year fee for the Iconic is 57,600, as I just told you, if you use my code SPSIDHI. And for the 2-year, the Iconic program has the course fee of 89,100. As you can see, Iconic gives you plus benefits of personal coach, daily mains Q&A practice, study planner, and personalized feedback. Folks, personalized feedback is very important in the UPSC journey so that you stay on track in your preparation. With that, this is also my course, which is already on Unacademy, 200 core topics of science and technology. Do visit. It's an amazing course. I have covered the science and tech from between May 2019 to May 20. So all the current affairs topics relevant to science and technology have been covered in this course. And I also have the IR series running as of now. It happens at 8:30 p.m. On one day, and then after 2 days it happens. So with a break of 2 days, this series happens regularly on the YouTube channel. Many of you must be already watching it. With that, folks, the ground rules for today are: feel free to be wrong in this class. It is okay to be wrong. And don't be sad if you make mistakes. Remember your mistakes and successes, so that if you have succeeded, you can replicate it. If you have made mistakes, you can avoid it. 30 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. The first 15 questions, you will get 30 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Most importantly, enjoy this session. It's a morning session. It's a starting session. Please enjoy it. And believe in yourself. You will improve each day. All my students in Unacademy who already take this test series, they are improving each day. They are making it to the leaderboards. And this photo I show to all my students because it's a very, very happy photo. If you know about this series, it's a Big Bang Theory series which closed recently after 12 seasons, and it looks very, very happy photo. So start your day positively. It will end well for you. With that, first question on your screen, folks. 30 seconds to read and then 30 seconds to answer. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Suman, Jyoti and Pallavi, I already know you. And Sivaranjani, I know you. Rajshri and Avrit are new to my class. Morning, Adarsh. Morning, Abhishek. Alright, guys. The time starts now. Good morning, Nandu. So, as soon as I get the correct answer, folks, nobody has answered correctly as of now. The correct answer is C. It's the red and yellow soil, which is the correct answer for this. Yes, Vivek, this is the first right answer that I've got for today. Why is it so? I will just show you. So, red soils are basically, they develop from igneous rocks and they develop in areas of low rainfall. Where? So, where are the areas of low rainfall in our country? It's the eastern, this part. As you all know, eastern Ghats receive lesser rainfall than the western Ghats, and the southern part of the Deccan Plateau, which is this area. So, the area which has been shown in this pink color or the skin color is the area of the laterite, the red and the yellow soils. And not just in the Deccan Plateau, they are also formed in some areas of the Gangetic plains, as you can see here, from Uttar Pradesh to Jharkhand till West Bengal, and some parts of Northeast, this regions. So these regions who are on the rain shadow areas of the mountains, they receive this kind of rainfall, and you find red loamy soil. So along the Western Ghats, it's the red loamy soil. It is very, very fertile. However, it is fertile when it is fine grained. When it is coarse grained, this soil is not fertile, and these soils are generally poor in nitrogen, phosphorus and humus in the upland areas. That means in the mountainous areas. Yes? Good morning, everybody. Yes, Adarsh, you have answered C. So Jatin, Ramaswamy, Nikita Jain, Rajshri Singh, and Adarsh Mohan. All of you have answered it correctly. So folks, let's move on to the next question. Okay guys, I will 20 seconds to read this and 30 seconds to answer it. Alright? And I will select the top 3. So be fast. This is a sitter. Your time starts now. It's okay, Suman. Eventually you will improve. Eventually everybody will improve. Good morning, Ram. I'm so glad to see every one of you here. Okay. All right, folks. Time's up. Only Jyoti has answered it correctly till the time's up. It's atmospheric. It's not terrestrial. Now Rajshri has also answered it correctly. Guys, why is it not terrestrial? Do you guys remember the chapter on fronts in our geography book? The warm front and the cold fronts. So blizzards are formed when the warm air climbs over the cold air. And at that wedge section where the fronts interact, where the front is formed, that's where the entire precipitation happens. However, the temperature has to be very low so that snow can form. Yes? So the correct answer is D. So only Sanjeev, very good Sanjeev, Madhusmita, Shravani, Aditya, Rajshri and Jyoti got it correct. Jyoti, very good. You were the first one to get it correct. Okay. And this was an easy question, folks. This is directly from the geography NCRT. So this should have been correct. Do not have any confusions. Whenever blizzard is there, it is atmospheric because it is formed because of the fronts. Now, what is the difference, you will ask me, ma'am, between a blizzard, because you see snow everywhere in a blizzard also and in a snowstorm also. So the difference between a blizzard and a snowstorm is that not all snowstorms are blizzards, but all blizzards are snowstorms which have very, very high winds. They have high winds which run at approximately 56 kilometers per hour and for a prolonged time, typically 3 hours or more. So a snowstorm with a speed of 56 kilometers per hour or more, which stays there for 3 hours or more, is classified as a blizzard. And where does it happen? It happens in high and mid latitudes. In fact, USA is the country where maximum blizzards happen and a lot of loss of lives is there. It is also common in Russia, Central and Northeastern Asia, Northern Europe, Canada, Northern United States and Antarctica, and of course here in India in Siachen Glacier and in the Himalayas, and in Mount Everest it is very, very common, and a lot of people lose their lives while they are climbing the Mount Everest due to blizzards. Yes? So, let's move further. Next question on your screen, folks. 20 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer. Yes, Adarsh, blizzard is bigger than the snowstorm. It is a higher version of the snowstorm. Yes, Aditya, tundra region, of course. Okay, guys, your time starts now. Nandu, you finally answered? Very good, guys. The first correct answer comes from Nandu. It's 1 and 3. Yes, SWIFT is basically the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. In fact, it was after the SWIFT mandated that core banking solutions came into practice. If you visit any banking branch, you will see them using core banking solutions or digitizing the entire banking process. Otherwise, back in 1990s, everything used to be done on paper. Now you see all those bank POs working on computers. Earlier, everything used to be maintained in registers. I have seen those times when I used to visit the banks in 1990s. Yeah, that means your ma'am is that old, but that has happened. So it was because of SWIFT that the core banking solutions were introduced in the country. So Nandu has answered correctly. Rangesh has answered correctly, and Pallavi. So the top three are Nandu, Rangesh, and Pallavi. Apart from that, Madhusmita, Aditya, Jyoti, Naveen, and Susmita, Rajshri, Shravani. All of you have answered correctly, but Jyoti, very, very good. You've answered it correctly. Now, the first one is right because SWIFT sells software and services to financial institutions. I just talked about the core banking solutions. All international interbank messages use the SWIFT network. No, not everybody is covered by the SWIFT network. There are countries which have just come up now or which are too weak to even join it because they have so much of political instability. So all is definitely wrong, and hence 2 is not the option. So if 2 is not the option, you can directly mark the correct statement. Option A goes, option B goes, and option D definitely goes. So only option C is left. That is how you use the elimination technique. And yes, SWIFT does not facilitate fund transfer. It's basically a kind of an intergovernmental organization. Yes, interbank organization. So it does not do any fund transfer. It's not a bank in itself. It's not a banking entity that it will do fund transfers, and hence the correct answer is C. Yes. Now, coming here. So what does SWIFT does? It does not facilitate transfer. Rather, it sends payment orders, right? It's like it will send you a money order kind of thing, that this is what I've received from the other bank. The two institutions which are involved in transacting the money. So it's like a third party software. It is just a platform. The two other parties which are involved in the money transaction, they will have to settle accounts with each other. However, a major of international bank use SWIFT, but not all of them use it. So the second one is wrong. And it usually sells software and services that we have already discussed. Yes, Aditya, logical elimination. Very good, guys. Yes, Niketa, you're right. They all come under the SWIFT network. All the interbank financial telecommunication comes under the SWIFT network. Okay, guys, next question on your screens. 30 seconds to read this one and another 30 to answer it. My voice is a little hoarse because I ate ice cream yesterday, which I shouldn't have, but nonetheless, ice cream is very tasty, so can't help. All right, folks, on your screen. Time starts now. Naveen has already answered. Yes, Adarsh, and I ate not one but two because I was craving two. So I ate two, and that's why this is the hoarseness in my voice. Okay, guys, it's not C. Madhusmita is the first one to answer it correctly. It's actually D. All three are valid. So recently, it's D, guys. It is not C. It is D. Only Madhusmita has answered it correctly, and Sivranjani has answered it correctly. So this actually happened in February 2022. It's an article from the Indian Express. So following a series of orders by the National Green Tribunal, the government decided that we need to actually have guidelines to check illegal sand mining. Sand mining was also an issue back in 2015-2016, especially in the UP area along the banks of Yamuna. So, and Karthik has also answered it correctly. So now the Ministry of Environment and Forest in February 2020 came up with the guidelines. Then the enforcement and monitoring guidelines for sales mining, they also push for online sales of sand. So as of now, guys, you know that in 2015 the government said that from now onwards all the mines will be sold online in e-auctions. So they have applied similar rules to sand mining also, that once you mine sand, because it is important from construction activities, you will have to do online sales and purchase of the sand, so that the entire sand mining or sand selling becomes very, very transparent, and we know what is happening at with riverbed, because sand mining inadvertently impacts the environment or the local fisheries in that region, because if you completely pull out the sand, it disturbs the entire aquatic system. And finally, the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957, they empower the state governments to make rules to prevent illegal mining, transportation and storage of minerals. So though mining is there, the rules are from the central government, but who implements those rules? It is the state government which individually takes care that they have to prevent illegal mining, transportation and storage of minerals. In fact, I will tell you something very interesting. So there were Bellari brothers. I don't know if you guys have heard about them. In Karnataka, Bellari brothers were very, very famous. They were known as the mining mafia. Now, these guys were put in jail when this new Lokpal had come in. There were evidence against them for illegal mining and they were finally put in jail. So, sand mining is a very, very serious offense. Yes, Jatin. No, Krishna, there's no poll here. Okay, I'm trying to integrate the poll, but as of now, there's no poll here. So, this is here. And guys, I want you to go and look at these guidelines. These guidelines were released in February 2020. If you want, I will share the article link with you in the comment section later in the class so that you can go and please check this thing because it's related to mines and mineral resources. So it's very, very important. Yes? Okay. Yes, the Karnataka Mafia, Aditya. Right, the Bellari brothers. Okay. Fifth question on your screen, folks. 20 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer it. Yes, Lavanya, the Reddy brothers. Yes, Jyoti, I will share it after the class. I will put it in the comment section. You can go and visit the article. All right. Okay, guys, your time starts now. Now, this is an important question. It's actually not static GK. It is current affairs GK here. If you have read the newspapers correctly, you will be able to answer this. And it's slightly difficult. Shamir and Sivranjani both have got it correct. Only two people have got it correct. The correct answer is D. Actually, this is a part of the latest excavations that have happened in Nagavardhan. So it's in Karnataka, and the Vakataka dynasty have ruled central and south India between 3rd and 5th centuries. I will just show you the map. Prabhavati Gupta is a very, very famous ruler of the Vakataka dynasty. In fact, certain seals of the Vakataka dynasty have been found in Nagardhan excavations very recently. It's in Maharashtra, Pune, Maharashtra. I'm so sorry, it's not in Karnataka, it's in Maharashtra. And yes, Shravani, you're also right. Rajshri is right, Aditya is right. Okay. And Vakataka people, they have traded with Iran, and that has been established by the seals that have been excavated recently. The seals look very, very familiar, that these seals might have been used for trade with the people beyond Iran and beyond in the Middle East through the Mediterranean Sea, which was a major trade route. So let's see. This is the Vakataka dynasty between the 3rd and the 5th centuries. Yes. So it's here. So Maharashtra is also covered in this. This map is from 375 AD or the 4th century. Nagardhan is a place near Ramtek and it's closer to Nagpur in Maharashtra. And these are the seals which have been recently excavated in the Nagardhan area. This is the site of Nagardhan. These are the remains of the Vakataka dynasty. The final remains of the Vakataka dynasty. Yes, Aditya, you also answered correctly. I haven't missed that. Don't worry. You are an intelligent student. You will do it correctly, right? So, it is the first time, why was it in news? That clay ceilings have been excavated from Nagardhan. So, and they date back to the period of when Prabhavati Gupta, the famous ruler of the Vakataka dynasty, was there. So it is from her time that it is there. And there was also a copper plate issued by Queen Prabhavati Gupta that also starts with the genealogy of the Guptas, so that we know the entire chronology of how the rule has started. And mentioning, the copper plate also mentioned that Queen's grandfather was Samudragupta and her father was Chandragupta too. There were also strong indicators of Vaishnava signatures on the royal seals of Vakataka, reiterating that Queen Prabhavati Gupta was a very, very powerful woman ruler. Because if there are Vaishnava signatures, if there are signatures of the queen, if so much information has been found about the queen, it says that under her rule, the nation was prospering and she was a very, very strong ruler because it was economically a prosperous region. Yes? Guys, are you able to understand this? Because it's an important point. So it's history linked to current affairs. And it's a very, very recent excavation. It has just happened before the coronavirus spread in February 2020. Adarsh, Nagardhan is in Maharashtra. I will show you the map again. Here it is. This is the map of Maharashtra. This is an insight map. So it is close to Nagpur, very close to Nagpur, in the Ramtek Taluka. Is it clear? Everybody, should we move? Okay guys, 20 seconds to read this. It's very, very easy question and 30 seconds to answer it. Very easy. Time starts now. You're welcome, Adarsh. Yes, Shamir. Okay. The first correct answer I got was from Shamir, Rajshri and Naveen. So Shamir, Rajshri and Naveen, they are the top 3 people. You guys got it correct. It is Niti Aayog only, which actually releases the Composite Water Management Index. Now let's see, what does this index talk about? So as per 2020, the Niti Aayog report of Composite Water Management Index, 21 Indian cities, including Delhi, Chennai and Bengaluru, these 3, they have not included Kolkata here. Kolkata has a lot of rains and a lot of water. Delhi, Chennai and Bengaluru will run out of groundwater. And they also note that 70% of our water in India, the 70% of Indian resources of water are contaminated. For more details, I will also put the editorial. So all those links which I have used today as news items, I will put all those links in one single comment section. Please go and visit these editorials or these articles if you already do not know about it. There are important information in these articles. So they are important from the current affairs point of view. This news came in December 19. Yes? Who are the others who have answered it correctly? A lot of people have got it correct actually. Vivek Kumar has got it correct. Rajshri has got it correct. Adarsh Mohan has got it correct. Suman has got it correct. Amit, you've come to the class. Very good. You've got it correct. Shravani, you're doing really well. You've got it correct. Nandu, you've done correctly. And Susmita Nandigama, you've also done it very correctly. So congratulations. All of you got it correct in the first attempt. Now, the next question on your screens, 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Again, it's an easy one. And the answer is in the name. So that's the biggest hint I'm giving you here. Everybody should get it correct. Yes, Jyoti, you've also got it correct. Sorry, your name was just beneath Naveen, so I couldn't see it. I'm extremely sorry. Apologies for this. Time starts now. Sivranjani, that is what these classes are for now. When you go in the exam, you will not be confused at all. That's why we are doing all the questions here. Very happy to see you, Amit. All right, all right. Everybody has got it correct. Vivek, what happened? Why did you mark A? It's not a lunar lander. As I just told you, that the answer is in the question itself. It's an evacuation. When will you do an evacuation? When you want to rescue somebody. That is when you do an evacuation, because somebody is injured and you can't carry them back. So you need to have a special machine which can evacuate them. See, in the space, it is very difficult for the astronaut himself to walk outside in the space or do spacewalks. Then how will, if somebody, for example, gets injured, if there is a slight particle, because the particles in the space, they move at a very, very high speed. And if one astronaut gets injured during the spacewalk, then how will the others pull him in? So this Lunar Evacuation System Assembly, LISA, is to rescue an injured astronaut on the lunar surface or on the surface of the moon. Yes, hint was helpful? Yes, when someone gets stuck. So Suman, Naveen, why did you do it wrong? Aditya got it correct, Jyoti got it correct, Amit got it correct, Karthik Sharma got it correct, Bala Pranita got it correct. Nikita, why did you do it wrong? Even Suman got it correct. Very good, Suman. Very much improvement. From yesterday, very much improvement. Sivranjani also got it correct. Now, this LISA is actually a pyramid-like structure. Can you see here? The white columns, they look like pyramid. Right now, it is being experimented in water. They are experimenting if they can evacuate somebody in water, replicating similar conditions that might happen in space or that might happen on moon. And it has been developed by the European State Agency. So remember, it is not NASA, it is European Space Agency. So that's an important point. And it can, in less than 10 minutes, this evacuation system can evacuate the astronauts, saving the very, very important lives of our astronauts who go into space. And it was developed in June 19. So I will be covering the entire GK in coming sessions, both on Unacademy and on YouTube, from May 19 till the present, so that you will not miss out on a single current affair or a static affair. Yes? Welcome, Suman. Okay, guys. Next question on your screen. 10 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. It's a state-only initiative and it's a wonderful initiative, something that you can write in your mains exam also. And your time starts in the next 3 seconds. Guys, nobody has got it correct. Vivek, last time you were the one who were wrong. Vivek got it correct, folks. It's C, Tamil Nadu, which has done it. Karthik, Susmita, you also got it correct. Very good. And who else got it correct? Nandu, Vijay and Shravani Wankhede. Only 4 people got it correct. Folks, it's Tamil Nadu, which has actually launched this new initiative called Direct Consent to Operate. This is actually related to industries. Now, whenever you set up an industry, whether it is a polluting one or a non-polluting one, you have to take a lot of clearances. So what did Tamil Nadu did? Tamil Nadu said for the green industries, because they're not causing any harm to the environment, there should be some incentive. So for the green industries, it's a direct consent to operate. You will directly get all clearances and you can operate as soon as possible. So it actually increases the ease of doing business in Tamil Nadu for the green industries. It is a very, very big incentive. And it was done very, very recently. And what is the, so how will it benefit? It will actually benefit all the MSME enterprises, the micro, small and medium enterprises, because usually these are very, very small enterprises. For example, street vendors, small shopkeepers, they have a very small ecological footprint and they usually fall under the green category. And it is the present government's endeavor, the central government's endeavor under the Atmanirbhar Abhiyan in a big, big manner to promote these MSMEs. So this kind of an initiative by a very state is extremely wonderful. It is something that you can write as a case study when you write your answers in the GS in the mains, or if you're a student of public administration or of geography. When it comes about promoting industries, this is a very, very good initiative. So please remember, direct consent to operate for the green industries to promote micro, small and medium enterprises. Meghna Khatevsara, The answer is not B. The correct answer is C, Tamil Nadu. Yes, and so is for Pranjera Vishuvardhan. The correct answer is C, Tamil Nadu. Now, the pollution index, how do you segregate different industries? How do you categorize them? So, the pollution index is between 0 to 100. Yes. So, based on the series of brainstorming sessions between the Central Pollution Control Boards and the State Pollution Control Boards and the Ministry of Environment, the range of pollution index is as follows. So up to 20, any pollution index up to 20 is the white category. So 4 categories it has been divided using the measure of 20 in between. So 0 to 20, it is white category. 21 to 40, it is green category. 41 to 59, it is orange category, and 60 and above, it is red category. Please remember these numbers. If you want to note them down, please note them down somewhere, or after the class ends, the video will be there on this on the YouTube. You can go and please note down these ranges. They are important from the point of ecology and environment. That's why I've included them here. Akash, you're right. It's option number C. All right. So up to 20, can you please repeat after me? Up to 20, it is the white category. So these are industries which are even less polluting than the green category. 21 to 40 is the green category. 41 to 59 is the orange category, and 60 and above is the red category, or seriously polluting industries. Next question on your screens, 10 seconds to read it and another 30 seconds to answer it. Time starts now. This everybody should get correct. I think this is a repeat question. Yes? So everybody got it correct. Okay. I'll still wait for people to answer it. Okay. The correct answer is water wheel used in the irrigation of land. So water wheel is a Persian wheel. It's a means of irrigation to lift water from the wells and to put it in the farms. So ara means spoke. Ara here means spoke, and ghata means pot. That's why you use pots in a hub and spoke model to be used for irrigation. Okay. Next question. This is typically done. It is typically done to lift water from water sources, typically open wells, not closed wells, but open wells, and it has been used in ancient text. This is a previous year question from UPSC. Okay. Next question. 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. It's a little difficult one, and I will discuss this report a little bit more in detail. Yes, that is the reason, Adarsh, I'm doing it. So I will do it in a sneaky way, but you guys will eventually remember because you guys have very good memory. But that ways we'll be able to remember. So 1 or 2 questions will be repeated so that we keep doing them again and again. Okay. Time starts now. Okay guys, I already got my top 3. Shamir, Adarsh Mohan, very good performance. Shamir, very good performance. Shravani, very good performance. Nandu, the correct answer is B. 1 and 3. The report is not prepared by BirdLife International. It is not prepared by BirdLife International alone. It is a congregated effort of a lot of organizations. So, State of India's Bird 2020 report, Yes, it is the first comprehensive assessment of the range of birds, their abundance, and their conservation status in India. So, what do we mean by range? Range means the areas in which the birds are found. It was released on Convention on Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals. It is also called CMS, Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals. So, the COP13 has recently happened in India in Gandhinagar. When did it happen? In February 2020, and that is the reason why State of India's bird report was released there for the first time. So whenever an international conference of high repute happens in India, we have to do something internally to promote India or to say that we are working on that direction, and that is why this initiative was taken in the CMS COP13, which happened in India in Gandhinagar in February 2020. So it's a very, very recent happening. The data is, of course, so we don't have much infrastructure to actually go and capture birds. In fact, most of the data on birds especially is based on citizen science, based on the ornithologist or the naturalist or the people who are wildlife enthusiasts. So much of the data is actually based upon them or the bird watchers. In fact, even when the tiger census is conducted or the lion census is conducted, it is the citizens or the volunteers are recruited from normal people who go into the forest, or the forest loving people or the wildlife enthusiasts who are recruited to go to the forest and do the counting based on the pug marks or the radio collars attached to various animals. Yes, Rajshri, it's not D, it's B. Jyoti Shukla, Bala, Vivek, it's wrong. Aditya got it correct. Sushmita got it correct. Lata Avasti got it correct. Niketa, wrong. Khateu you got it correct. Ramaswamy, what happened? No, it was not there. Was it? Okay. Now that's upon you to remember. Sanjeev, you got it correct. Yes, Shamir. And Sivaranjani, they already knew that it was in Gujarat. Suman, you're correct. Alright. Aditya, yes, it is for the first time. So yesterday what happened in the class, Adarsh? Somebody asked for it to be explained. I think it was Deepam who asked it to be explained, and I had told him that come to tomorrow's class in the morning and I will be taking it up. So folks, this report was actually published with a partnership of 10 organizations and not BirdLife International alone. So it was the World Wildlife Fund or the WWF, Wildlife Institute of India, and the Nature Biodiversity Authority of India. As I told you, much of the data is based on citizen science, and 867 birds were assessed. And this assessment is based on 3 indexes. So remember that. What are the bird species which have been abundant for the long term? Over 25 years, we have been seeing those birds. For example, the sparrows, the maynas, the crows. Current annual trend. What is the current annual trend? How much abundant are they in the last 5 years? And the distribution range size. In what areas are these birds found? So it was a 5-day conference. Very, very informative one. And let's see. So what are the highlights of the COP13 or CMS COP13? So when we conducted in India, the Great Indian Bustard was our logo. It was named as Gibby, the Great Indian Bustard of India. So the Gibby was the mascot for the COP13. It was a Great Indian Bustard. And the logo, I think I've forgotten to put the picture here. So the logo was a traditional kolam from southern India. I think it is from Kerala. The design, the logo was from southern Kerala. And the theme of the CMS COP13 was migratory species connect the planet and together we welcome them home, because migratory species come and return from their home. So this was the theme. Now, what were the other things that happened in this CMS COP13? There were 10 new species which were added to the various appendices of the CMS or the Conservation of Migratory Wild Species. So in Appendix 1, Asian elephant, jaguar, Great Indian Bustard, Bengal florican, little bustard, Antipodian albatross and ocean white-shipped shark were added. I will also talk about what do Appendix 1 and Appendix 2 stand for. In Appendix 2, 3 species were added: Urial, smooth-hammered shark and taupe shark. Alright. So they have also agreed that they will extend concerted actions to another 14 species. Now, let's come to here. What is Appendix 1? Appendix 1 enlists endangered migratory species. So, all the species that are listed here, they are in the danger of extinction throughout a significant portion of the areas where they are found. So, all the countries will come together to form ways to protect them. And the Appendix 2 is regarding conserving migratory species through inter-country agreements. So 2 or 3 countries or 4 countries, wherever these migratory species are found, they will come into agreements, they will forge agreements, proper MOUs or memorandums of understanding to conserve these birds. So this is Appendix 1 and this is Appendix 2. Now let's come here. As I told you, it was the first ever report, and we actually came to this conclusion that most migratory species that were covered by the conservation of migratory species they are actually declining. That is showing the adverse ecological impact that the humans, or the anthropogenic effect that the humans have been having. Now, there were 3 ambassadors, or the 3 conservation of migratory species ambassadors that were named. You will not remember the names of the other 3. So you can remember the name of the Indian actor Randeep Hooda. He was named as the ambassador for the aquatic species. Alright. India as of now is the president of the CMS. It has just taken the presidency. So, and it will be the president for the next 3 years. And one very important advantage here was this conference also kicked off the super year for environment, which means this entire conference will conclude with the United Nations summit in September if everything remains hunky and dory given the current corona crisis, in the UN Biodiversity Conference at the end of 2020, and a new global biodiversity strategy for the next decade, that is 2020 and beyond, will be adopted. It will be called the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. So what are the important points? The important points are Great Indian Bustard was the mascot. The theme was migratory species connect the planet and together we welcome them. It was for the first time that we had a state of birds report, and further important that it has been declared a super year for environment, and if everything goes hunky-dory, we will have end of the year UN summit on UN biodiversity conference, which will be called post 2020 global biodiversity framework. So these are the important information regarding this question. Yes, very right, Shamir, very right. They are making maps inspired by Kolam, and Kolam, suppose it stands for harmony between nature and humans. And thankful to you to inform us of this important information. Guys, it is very important that we know more about our own culture, and Kolam is a very, very important part of our culture. Great, Shamir. Very good for informing us. Next comes your question number 11. So I'm starting right here, because it's a very small question, so your time starts now. Shamir, I will possibly show a design of Kolam in the next class so that everybody becomes aware of it, because most of my students are regulars here. Avian species are birds. Avian means air, so birds. Okay, I already got my first correct answer here. What is there in Southeast Asia to others? Can you please repeat your question? I'm not able to understand it. Yes, Nandu, Shamir and Naveen Gaur. All of 3 are correct. I got my top 3. It's Ethiopia. The Danakil depression is a very, very famous place. And right now, Ethiopia, Eritrea and Djibouti are actually trying to get it into World Heritage Site. You will be amazed to know about this place, folks. So actually, what happened here? What is in Southeast Asia to Adarsh? I don't understand. Can you please write the complete question? Okay. Now, folks, why was it a news? So we have this thing that microbes or microorganisms can even support themselves in very, very extreme environments. So scientists actually went to Ethiopia to the Danakil depression. Now, what is Danakil depression? It's one of the hottest places on earth and also the lowest ones. It is 100 meters below the sea level, and the temperature in Danakil depression remains approximately, what do you say, between 44 to 50 degree Celsius. Now I also have a video of it which I want you guys to watch. So I will put the link of the video in the comment section. Please go. This is a 1-minute video, all right, which I want you guys to watch. So if you watch this video, you will see that the entire place is in a hue of green and orange because a lot of sulfur is released. It's an area in the Great Rift Valley and there's a huge volcanic activity that keeps going on there, and the air is so poisonous that there is very little oxygen in this whole area. So even as a tourist, if you want to visit this place, only a few pockets of this area you can visit, and the Ethiopian home guards will always assist you. So when the scientists went there, they found out that this place is an exception. Not even the microbes can survive in this very harsh atmosphere that is there in Danakil. So why is it so? Because it has an environment which has simultaneously a very low pH, that means highly acidic, and highly salty, a combination that makes it difficult for any microorganism to adapt, and that is why it was in news. This area is covered with more than 10 lakh tons of salt, and there is no water coming out from this area. This area has been developed after an inland water body evaporated. You guys must be knowing the evolution of the Great Rift Valley, some of you who must be having geography here. So any water that entered Danakil, it evaporates, it never comes out. It's like the black hole of water. Yes. And what is the location of Danakil depression? It is here. So it is majorly in the Ethiopian part. Yes. And some part of it also falls in Djibouti and some part of it falls in Eritrea also. But majorly it is in Ethiopia, and Djibouti and Eritrea are both trying to get it included in the World Heritage Site. It is as of not in the World Heritage Site or the World Heritage Natural Sites. This is the exact place on the map of Africa where Ethiopia is. It's near the Horn of Africa. Now, guys, do you know about Mount Irtale? Mount Irtale. So, this mountain is basically one of the few lava lakes formed by the lava lakes on the planet Earth. So, it's a famous lake on Mount Irtale, which is there in Ethiopia. So a wonderful place to visit. In fact, if I have enough money someday and enough guts to go to Ethiopia, given the conditions in the Horn of Africa, I would definitely want to visit this place. However unenvironment friendly or unhuman friendly this place is, I think it's going to be an experience of a lifetime. Okay. Okay, Sivranjini, using column. Very good. Oh, all right, Adarsh. Okay. Yes, Adarsh, that will actually happen because the entire South had very deep trade connections with the entire South Asia. So Indonesia is not a part of, I'll correct you here, Adarsh. Indonesia is not a part of yes, Indonesia is a part of Southeast Asia. No correction, sorry. Yes, it is unfit for humans, most uninhabitable place on earth. In fact, Ethiopia is also known as the most dangerous no-go zones for humans on earth. Okay guys, that brings us to our next question. On your screens, 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Sorry, I just saw. All of you did it correctly, so very happy. Most of my students are reading the newspapers. A teacher can never be more happy than when the students do answers correctly. And I hope the questions are helping everybody get a better hang of the prelims. Yes? Okay guys, your time starts now. Oh, I already got my top 3. Adarsh, Nandu, Suman, very good performance. Madhusmita, you're rocking it. And Shamir, I'm very happy to see you here. Come to my Unacademy classes also. We need more people who are very competitive. It increases the entire competition in the class. Very happy to have you here, guys. Yes, the correct answer is A only. No, This Article 142 was not invoked for the first time in Ayodhya verdict. It was first invoked during the Bhopal gas tragedy. It was in news during the Ayodhya verdict also. Now, what is Article 142? So, it actually allows the Supreme Court to pass any order or decree which will be valid or which will be legal in the entire territory of India in order to do complete justice whenever there is a case of injustice to a community or to any other thing that requires the intervention of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can invoke Article 142, take the case, take the matter in its hand and declare a decree or an order. So most of you got it correct. I think everybody got it correct except for Karthik. Yes? Yes, Nandu, it is the Union Carbide case. What is BGT, Jyoti? Can you please elaborate? Okay. So, this is what the article is about. The Supreme Court, in exercise of its jurisdiction, may pass such decree or make such order as necessary for doing complete justice in any cause, environment, tragedies, Ayodhya verdict, or matter pending before it, and any degree so passed or order so made shall be enforceable throughout the country, which I just repeated. So, Article 142 is very, very important. And that will be prescribed by law or any other law made by Parliament until provision in that behalf is so made in such a manner as the President may pass the order or the ordinance may be passed. So, the laws are very important to be made if the decree or the final decision by the Supreme Court is given under the Article 142. The government is supposed to make laws in that regard. Yes, and it was first applied in the case of Union Carbide when the gas leak was there. So, for bettering the humanity, for meeting up the tragedy which affected so many humans, the Supreme Court invoked the Article 142. Oh, okay. Yes, Jyoti Shukla, Bhopal gas tragedy. I'm so sorry. No, there is a huge difference. See, it's a constitutional thing. Your special leave petitions and all the others, they are procedures of the court of law. So that's the difference. It's a constitutionally mandated thing. And that's how the court functions, the special leave petition. That's the difference. It's not, special leave petitions are not constitutional. They're judicial procedures. This is something which has been given in the constitution which the court can invoke. Everything, the procedures that happen in the court, they get their power from the constitution. So that's the difference. Article 142 has a very large embrace. Special leave petitions are a way of implementing all these articles that are there in the constitution. Yes? Okay. Now, let's come here. What other places was this Article 142 invoked? It was also invoked in the case of cleansing Taj Mahal. When Taj Mahal, the entire marble interface was going yellow, that is when they started invoking Article 142 and said that all the area around the Taj Mahal, the Taj corridor, needs to be cleaned up. There will be no polluting industries so that Taj Mahal can be restored back to its old glory. And the UP government had to comply. Okay. Now guys, I'm starting it right away because it's a very easy one. If you know about the Ayodhya judgment, you will know it. So that's the biggest hint. Yes, Jyoti, due to acid rain. Very right. Now it's a question of culture and history related to the current affairs. Naveen, that was a wild guess, I guess, because it's incorrect. The correct answer is Joseph Tiffin-Thandler. Shamir is the only person who has answered it correct, and Susmita has done it, and Ridhima Sharma. So, three people, Shamir, Susmita, and Ridhima have got it correct. Shamir, you are correct here. Nandu even writes for the skipping answers. Now, that actually is very funny, but I really salute your enthusiasm. All right? Okay. So, the description of the history of the geography, history and geography of India. This is French. This says description of the history and geography of India. It was written by Joseph Tefantler. He actually stayed in India for 27 years and he became a Jesuit also in India, and then he moved on to Goa. So he has lived in Ayodhya for more than 5 years, and during that time he said that originally there was a Hindu temple in Ayodhya. So this his description, or this ancient this entire description that he's given in his book or in his travelogue was used by the Hindus to stake their claims on the Ayodhya Mandir. They said that as per this writer, it was Aurangzeb who actually replaced the Hindu temple and built a mosque in place of that Hindu temple. Originally there was a Hindu temple. That is what his travelogue says. Now there were other writers also which were quoted by the Hindus. Another one was William Finch. So I will also share this Indian Express article with you guys, where all these travelers, they have been quoted in the Supreme Court judgment. It was because of these people, or it was because of these travelers or these travelogues that were quoted by the Hindus, that Ayodhya judgment came forward, or that the stakes of the Hindus were acknowledged by the Supreme Court. So this traveler, he stayed in, his timings are between 1710 to 85. So he lived for 75 years. And of those 75 years, he spent majority of his youth in India for 27 years. So his proof, or his travelogue, is a good source of proof of the history of India. Okay. Good morning, Ajmerun. Okay. Are we clear here? Should I move on to the next question? Aditya, you also got it wrong. Rajshri, you got it correct. Shamir, okay, sometimes you guys have to do guesswork. Not every question you will know. I hope this is added to your knowledge. Now, next question on your screens. Again, I will just give you 30 seconds to answer it. And your time begins now. This was also in news recently. Oh, it's Rosie. Okay, Rosie Afreen, right? Good to see you here, Rosie. But why did you join so late? You should have come on time, right? 10 a.m. You didn't wake up in the morning? Okay, guys, the correct answer is all of the above. Sorry, it should be ALL. Guru Nanak Dev traveled to Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia. Now, let's look at this. It's a part of the article that again came in the Indian Express in the Sunday newspaper. So there is one person who actually wanted to know more about Sikhism. So he decided to travel all those countries where Guru Nanak had traveled in the past. So based on the chronicles, based on the folklore, he came to know that Guru Nanak has traveled around 8 or 9 nations. These include, or 9 nations. These include Sri Lanka, our immediate neighbor, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tibet and China, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh and India, of course. So he visited. Guru Nanak believed in secularism. So he visited not only the Islamic sites, he visited the Sufi sites, he visited the Buddhist and the Hindu sites. So this author, who was the author of this article, he is actually retracing the entire steps of Guru Nanak Dev. Now, since it's an important art and culture question, that's why I thought it would be very imperative to include it here. What is Chammi, Adarsh Mohan? Okay. So, guys, only Naveen and Rajshri and Sivranjani have got it correct. Rest all of you, it is okay if it is not correct, because it's a very, very niche question. But I want to show you the countries that he has visited on the map. There it is, Iraq. It is further away on the left side of Iran. So don't forget. Let's start from India. From India, Guru Nanak Dev thought that Sri Lanka is very close. Let me jump here. So he went to Sri Lanka. Then once he considered our eastern neighbor here, Sri Lanka, he also went to China. Obviously, India and China have very, very historic ties, and Tibet was very close. Once he was done with these two countries, Then he decided to also venture into Bangladesh. So he visited 3 of our neighbors, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and China. Then he said, I've done with the east, now let me go to the west. So obviously to go any further in Central Asia, because then there were no flights, so you had to go on foot, and even the shipping was very risky. So he first went to Pakistan, all right, and visited the Islamic saints there, or the Sufi saints there. Then from Pakistan going to Afghanistan was very easy, so he went to Afghanistan. Then he was like, okay, now I'm bored, let me go to Iran. What are these people doing? So he went to Iran also. And then from Iran, he decided that I should go to Iraq, because Iraq is on the border. So let me cover everything. If I'm here and Iraq is just on the border, why not? I should go here. It will give me some more insights. And from Iraq, then he went to Saudi Arabia. And that ways, he covered almost the entire Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. Yes? Oh, okay, okay, Shamir Khan. Everybody clear with this one? Is the explanation clear to everybody? Yes? Okay. If anybody wants me to go back to the previous slide, please let me know if you've not understood. Guys, there is a very important reason why I have shown you the map. I have shown you the map so that if there is any geography question which is related to the countries or which is related to geography, geographical position specifically, you will never forget. As many times as you see the map, you will be able to do these questions correctly. With that, we'll start with this question. I haven't found a third person. I only have found first two correct. So Nandu and Madhusmita and Amit. Oh my god, I've already found my first three. Nandu, Madhusmita and Amit. Yes, the correct answer is B. Alright. 15, the correct answer is B. In fact, this part is correct. It is not O. Why was this ruling actually came recently? The adjusted gross revenue. It is related to the telecom operators. And what did the Supreme Court recently do? So the Supreme Court recently said that, as of now, the telecom operators and the government had a tussle. The TRI said that you will include all your revenues, whether they are from the telecom sector or from other services, you will include all your revenues together and pay us a fee of that as the adjusted gross revenue. Now, adjusted gross revenue is not 2%. I will tell you why. Because adjusted gross revenue is comprised of two things. One is the spectrum usage charges, which is 3 to 5% of the adjusted gross revenue. So if you are using the spectrum, do you guys remember the spectrum sale? All the corruption scandals that came out during the part of UPA due to its South alleys in Tamil Nadu. And as of now, the telecom operators don't pay 2% of the aggregate gross revenues, they pay 8%. So this is what is wrong here. It is not 2%, it is 8%. So what happened? These people said, let's settle the dispute, let's go to Supreme Court. The telecom operators said that we will only pay which is related to the telecom area. So whatever revenues we earn out of the telecom area, out of that 8% we will pay as the license fee and 3 to 5% we will pay as the spectrum usage charge. The telecom operators said, or the TRI said, no, you will have to take your entire revenue into consideration, whether it is from telecom or from non-core telecom operations, you have to club that entire revenue and pay us the 8% of that. So with that ruling, now Vodafone and Airtel had to combined pay 1 lakh crore rupees to the TRI, and the Supreme Court also said that you will need to pay a penalty or principal and interest both, and a penalty in additional if you don't pay on time. So the telecom operators did not like this decision. It's a very, very important development in the telecommunication sector. It's a very, very important judgment. Yes, Shravani did it correct. Who else got it correct? Okay, Jyoti Shukla also got it correct. Yes, Madhusmita, very good. Very right, Shamil. That I've already covered, I think. Yes, the 2G spectrum conundrum that was there, the entire corruption case. You're right, Shamir. I think I already covered it. So, Shamir, why are you repeating it here in the chat? Non-core telecom means, for example, what do you have in the telecom operations? You will be using the spectrum. You will be paying somebody who's using your spectrum. Sorry, you'll be getting payment from somebody who's using your spectrum. The charges that you charge the customers per call for use of data. So these are core telecom operations. There might be some others operations. For example, you lease your infrastructure to some other entity. Now that's a non-core telecom operation. For example, you build certain towers, but you are not using it, or you want to share that because the capacity is not huge. For example, say Northeastern regions, you have built towers, but the capacity that is being used by those towers in the telecom operations is not huge. So you lease it out to other players who don't want to set up an infrastructure there. Now that's a non-core telecom operations. Yes? Okay. Let's come here. Question number 16. Okay guys, before we start with question number 16, what did I cover in the class? I did not, covered in this class, Adarsh. So I was telling Shamir that I've already covered it here. In this class only. You are new, I know. So I will never leave it to I covered it in that class or those class. I covered it here in this class while I was talking about it. Yes? Hello, Regina. Now, guys, in the next 5, please brace up. I will not give you 30 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. It is a rapid fire round. Alright? So I will just give you 25 seconds to read and answer. The next 5 questions are rapid fire round. Only 25 questions to read, 25 seconds to both read and answer the question correctly. So brace up yourselves, be in the high alert mode. Yes? And the person who gets the maximum answers correct, I will personally speak their name here and congratulate them here. Alright? It's okay, Regina. Join in. It's the rapid fire round. 25 seconds per question. Time starts now. Okay, folks, your time stops. Nandu got it correct. Shamir got it correct. Naveen got it correct. They are the first 3, fastest 3. First 3 and fastest 3. So who are these 3 people? Nandu, Shamir and Naveen. The rest of you? Yes. Very good, Shravani. Very good, Amit. Very good, Vivek. Suman, Rosie, Jyoti, Aditya, Madhusmita, Susmita, Bala, Regina. You got it wrong. It's D. So it's in Antarctica. It was in news recently because it has been observed that the temperatures in Antarctica are being recorded above 20 degrees Celsius. So that's a huge sign of global warming, and that's why this thing was in news. It was in news in March 20, just before the corona crisis completely struck India. So Seymour Island is located here on the Antarctic Peninsula. This is Antarctic, and the 20 degrees barrier was the first time crossed in the continent on February 9, and the news came in March 20. So the temperature recorded was 20.75 degree Celsius. Yes, and Seymour Islands are located at the northernmost point of the Antarctic Peninsula. Alright? Okay, guys. Next question on your screens. Another 10 seconds, 25 seconds to go. I'm stopping the clock here. The correct answer is, oh, Rajendra has answered it correctly. So he's passed his finger first. Nandu. Suman, are you talking about the first question? Yes, D is the correct answer. So my top three here are Rajendra, Nandu and Shamir. Okay. And yes, the correct answer is B. I have noted down your names, folks, so that I can keep a track. So the non-lapsable central pool of resources, that means, for example, this year the government sanctions 1000 crores for a development of a certain area. Now, every year when the budgetary claims are there, if you see, that's a very big problem in our budget, that ministries rush to spend maximum amount in the month of March because that's the year closing. But a non-lapsable central pool would mean it's like rollover data. If you haven't used the entire 100 GB that was assigned to you in this month, or 50 GB is left, the 50 GB can be utilized in the next month. So a similar thing is there with the central pool of resources. If a budget of 1000 crores was given for this year, if only 500 crores have been used, the next 500 crores can be carried over for the next time for the development of infrastructure. Now, it is the only thing wrong about the first option is it is not related to left-wing extremist states. It is related to Northeastern region. So that's why option 1 is wrong, and hence A only is not the answer, or both cannot be the answer. Now the only options that remain are B and none. Now, when you consider both physical and social infrastructure sectors are considered to be supported, support under the central pool. Now, this is very intuitive. Obviously, you wouldn't just have physical infrastructure, you would also have social infrastructure, like the schools will be built, the universities will be built, or any other social initiatives will be taken. Yes, community halls, etc. So they all will be a part of the infrastructure which the government is considering. So the 2 is a very, very generic statement, it's a very positive statement. So just by intuition, you can mark option 2 only, and that's how you solve it. Okay. Regina Parveen has skipped. Great. Most of the people got it correct. Oh, you answered C. Yes, Nikita, like Nirbhaya Fund. It's a social infrastructure. Very good, Nikita. Now, let's come here. So, this entire scheme of non-lapsable central pool of resources was declared in March 2020. It is related to the Northeastern region. And what will be the physical and social infrastructure sectors? Irrigation and flood control, power, roads, bridges, education, health, water supply and sanitation. And who is responsible for it? What is the implementation agency? The Ministry for Development of Northeastern Region, Kiran Rijiju. Yes? So it's for the Northeastern states. Yes, Rosie, you are correct. But I'm only taking the fast 3 and the first 3 because it's a rapid fire round. So brace up yourselves, answer more questions correctly. Alright? Yes, you're late, Indian editor. We are doing last 3 questions, but participate. Oh, okay, sorry. Alright, Madhusmita, I'll just check it again if you say so. Because here, if I see the chat, it's Nandu, then Shamir, and then Madhusmita. Okay. But I think Rajendra already answered it. Madhusmita, Rajendra already answered it. So it's Rajendra, Nandu and Shamir this time. You still have one more question to go. Okay? Chalo. 3 more questions to come. Time starts now. Yes, Rajendra. You're welcome, Regina. You're welcome. Okay, guys. The correct answer is yes, B. So, who has answered it correctly? Let me see. Adarsh is there. The top 3 are Adarsh and Rosie, very good, and Nandu. So, the correct answer is B, folks. Adarsh, Rosie, and Nandu. Okay. Guys, the correct answer here is 2 only. So, as per WTO, whenever you want to classify industries based they are high income or they are developing or developed, the World Trade Organization does not make any such criteria. It does not distinguish between a developed and a developing country. The countries themselves declare themselves to be a developed or a developing country. Each country can declare its own status. So as per the WTO, both India and China are developing countries, though we know that China has a GDP of $15 trillion. Yes, very close to American $20 trillion economy, yet China is a developing country in the WTO. Let's come to World Bank. Yes, World Bank does distinguish countries as developed and developing. Why? And it uses the per capita incomes to distinguish them. Now, you will ask me, ma'am, why does WTO does it and why does World Bank does not do it? So, when these both are trade organizations or these both are actually world organizations which support with money. So, World Trade Organization does not give you money directly. It is there for trade facilitation. Yes. So, you can go and put yourself in the criteria in which you want to put yourself. In World Bank, they actually offer you loans based on the criteria of a developed or developing country. Yes. So, World Bank offers a lot of loans to the developing countries to have physical or social infrastructure in their countries, and that's why it has a discretionary criteria. Now, let's look at what is this criteria. So, as I told you, under the WTO rules, you can self-designate as yourself as a developing country. However, in World Bank, there is a per capita classification which is here. As per the World Bank, India is here. India has a gross national income of $2020. It is very easy to remember now. 2020 is the year, and the income GNI per capita of India is 2020 as per the 2018 data. And as of July 2019, what is the way to discriminate, or what is the World Bank's discriminatory criteria? So low income economies are those which have less than $1025 of per capita income. So India does not come in the low income countries. Between lower income economies are those which have a gross national income per capita between $1026 to $3995. So India comes in the lower middle income countries as per the World Bank classification. Okay. Then there is upper middle income economies. These are between 3996 or almost 4000 to between $12,000 economies, where China falls. And high income economies are those which are above $12,376. Saudi Arabia, UAE, and the US, of course, right? Now let's come back here. Why was this thing in news? Why are we even talking about it? So recently in February, Trump visited India. Everybody knows about that. So a lot of trade agreements were to be signed. But before even he visited India, WTO does not classify others. Yes, you're right. Yes, Rosie, you're right. Rosie is very intelligent. So when Trump came to India, just before that, they actually declared back in December and January. So they said the United States Trade Representative, They said that the classification US has for developing and developed countries is from 1998. So it's very, very old. So we need to renew it. And by renewing it, they included the factors of how much of a percentage a country has in the share of global world trade. So if it is greater than 0.5%, it will not be included in its general preference system or GPS, under which it gives duty-free access to approximately 2,000 goods from these countries. So what do you mean by duty-free access? That your goods are able to enter USA easily and you get a lot of benefit, because then you can export a huge amount of goods to USA. And India was a big beneficiary of this. So now the US says you have greater than 0.5% of the global trade that goes through India. India participates in 1.67% of world's exports and approximately 2.65% of world's imports. So India has a huge share in the, not huge, but a considerable share in the world trade. So based on that, the US removed it from the general system of preference or GPS. Now, additionally, USA said India is also a member of G20. Now, if India is a member of G20 and India has a trade share of greater than 0.5%, it makes it ineligible for having a duty exemptions, and now we can have duty investigations against India if it tries to dump any goods in the USA. Now, GSP is actually given to developing nations and to the least developing countries so that they can economically prosper. India is trying to restore the GSP under the trade deal which was supposed to be signed with the US, but in May 2020, the US has decided to actually implement this measure retrospectively starting from January 2020. So they haven't listened to us. They have decided that we will not go with it. We will not give India the benefit. India has to now stand on its own. So we fall, okay. Others, China is not being given that countervailing duty because based on this classification, China is here. It's in the upper middle income and we are in the lower middle income countries. So China is here, somewhat here, and India is here. So that is the World Bank classification. Yes, yes, obviously, Rosie, India is a trade deficit country, or a balance of trade is not in favor of India. We import more than what we export, and especially we import a lot of oil and petroleum, pulses and gold. They actually completely outbalance our exports. So that is it. Yes, Trump, you're right. Sorry, yes, Jyoti, you're right. Then he was completely amazed by the Indian chakra. Let's come to the second last question for today, and your time starts now. 25 seconds to go. Okay, guys, your time stops now. Yes, Sojan, we do have a trade surplus with US. It's one of the few 1 or 3, 4 or 5 nations that we have a trade surplus with. Okay, guys, the correct answer for 19 is, who has answered it correctly? Let me see. Nandu again. The correct answer is B here. Jyoti. And somebody called the strugglers. Sujan, you are fourth and I'm taking only the top 3. The strugglers, can you please tell your name? Okay. The correct answer is B, folks. 1 and 3. So there's a catch here. It is not years. It is months. And that's why option B is incorrect. The rest as it is correct. National Population Register has undertaken the provisions of the Citizenship Act, and it is mandatory for every usual resident of India to register in the NPR. Now guys, please listen very carefully. This is a very, very important question because it also tells you what is the difference between NRC or the National Registry of Citizens, and the NPR, National Population Register. Now, NRC is only for Indian citizens, whether they are in India or outside India. NPR is for both Indian and foreign citizens, because we just want to know what does our population comprise of, who are the people who are living in India, and hence it is not 6 years but it is 6 months. So the usual residents are who have been residing at some place for 6 months or plan to reside in the same area for the next 6 months. For example, if you go to Kashmir, a lot of foreign tourists, they come there for a long trip and they stay in the houseboats for a very long while. And in fact, if you're boating around in the Dal Jheel or the Nagin Jheel, you will see most of them sitting outside on the houseboats and playing flute and guitar. So they enjoy music in the very serene environment of the Dal Lake. Alright? And a lot of foreign researchers also come here for research purposes to know more about the Indian culture and population. So a lot of research residents are also here. It's okay, Rosie. Yes, Sivranjani, it's 6 months. Arnav. Okay, Arnav. You read that? Great. You're in the 4th place, Sivranjani. Okay, very good. Now, what happens in the National Population Register? You actually prepare it at the village or sub-town level, sub-district, district, state and national level under the Citizenship Act and the rules, the registration of citizens and the issue of national identity cards rules 2003. So both these are included. 6 months criteria I have already told you. Now, for the NPR, the data that is used, the data that was first created, it was in 2010, and recently the cabinet agreed, the union cabinet agreed that we should have another enumeration exercise in April, September this year, but looking at the current scenario, maybe this exercise will be postponed. Now, coming to, there are some important points about the census that I want to discuss. The census of 2021 will be the 16th census in the country. The first census happened in 1872 and it will be the 8th census. The census of 2021 will be the 8th census after independence, and for the first time the census of 2021 will use a mobile app for data collection. Up till now they used to come with paper and pencil and then they used to record it, right? So it will also provide a facility for public for self-enumeration, from self-declaration that started during the Modi government, that you can declare whether you are adhering to certain practices or not, especially for the industries. Now we have come to self-enumeration. We can ourselves put our data in the mobile app. So that will happen with this. Yes, Sajan, you're right. Now, what are the details that are required for the NPR? So what are the demographic details? Now with the census, now with this enumeration that should happen in 2020, we will be recording 21 points on the people. That will be the date of birth or the birth of their parents, the place of the birth of their parents, last place of their residence, their PAN number, Aadhaar, voter ID number, driving license number and mobile number. Earlier, the NPR 2010 was done on 15 points only. Now, what is the difference between NPR and NRC? As I just told you, NPR will include both Indian and foreign citizens. NRC is only for Indian citizens, whether they are living inside the country or outside the country. And in the NRC, the details that you record are a little different than what you record in the NPR. So they record the father's name, your own name, your father's name, your mother's name, sex, date of birth, place of birth, residential address, marital status, name of the spouse, identification mark and date of registration as a citizen, serial number of registration and national identity number. It can be the Aadhaar number. So if you can see, the biometric data that is covered under NPR and NRC is significantly different. So we should know this difference. Yes? Yes, Shamir Khan, there has been a lot of controversy around that. Yes, Rosie, it's called Janganna. Last question of the day, folks. Okay? And your time starts now. No, Rosie. NRIs are non-resident Indians. If only you are a citizen of India, you are included here. So NRI in the sense, if you still hold the citizenship, yes. If you don't hold the citizenship, you will not be included in the NCR category. Okay guys, question number 20. Okay. I still haven't got any correct answers, so I'll wait. Shamir is the first one to answer it correctly. The correct answer is B. Nandu is the second one. And Rosie is the third one. So I have had my top 3 now. Ganga Gopi, you're new to my class, but and you've answered it correctly. It's B. Shivranjani, you are right. It's B. So only few people got it correct this time. The correct answer is B. Guys, this should be an indicator. Imagine, do you guys know about what is albedo? Albedo is the refractive power of the snow. Snow is white, so it will reflect maximum amount of heat or the radiation that it receives. Now, if you put something black on it, black carbon is black as the name suggests. If you put something black, it will absorb heat. So how will it increase the refracting power or the reflection power? That means it will decrease the albedo. It's a geographically related question. Albedo has been talked about in your geography NCERT. So this question shouldn't have been wrong. Directly, if you know that second is wrong, then the option A becomes wrong and option C becomes wrong. Alright? And if you talk about this, black carbon soils, actually significantly, do you know about the black soil? They are also called the cotton soils. They are extremely fertile, found in the Deccan Plateau. So obviously, they contribute to soil fertility. Yes, so third is correct. So option D cannot be correct, and hence the correct answer is B. Black carbon is basically nothing but carbon black. It's the black soot that we observe due to incomplete burning or incomplete burning. Yes, of the fossil fuels, biofuel or biomass. So the correct answer is B. It is anthropogenically generated, and if on the snow covered mountains, if you have carbon black, it will reduce the reflecting power of the snow and hence it will decrease the albedo. And it is harmful to the atmosphere because it has a lifetime of more than 100 years. It is also used in soil sciences, as I just told you, and in fact in tropics, black carbon is very good for fertility of the soil. Correct? It's okay, Ganga. I hope you enjoyed. Yes, Rosie, it's related to physical geography. Clear, everybody? Now, I will declare the results for today. So, what is the result for today? So, guys, obviously, Nandu is in top 3 in all the 5 questions. So, today's winner of the quiz is Nandu Vijay. Brilliant performance in the last rapid fire round. For the winner of the rapid fire round, Nandu has been in the top 3 in all the 5 questions. So he is the winner of the rapid fire round, the last 5 questions that we did. So he is not just quick, he is also correct. So you have stiff competition here, folks, and hope to see more such names here tomorrow. Yes? Okay, guys? So I will put in the link of my Telegram channel and all the links to the various sources that I've used here which are important for you under one comment section so that you guys can go and visit it. Alright, folks? Any doubts so far? Should we close for today? You're welcome, Nandu. Yes, Rosie, be on time. 10 a.m. sharp. Now the next class, guys, is on 24th July. Alright? And on 23rd July, I am also having a special class which is a free to attend for all sessions. So Nandu, be there on Unacademy. You will enjoy it there at 8:30 p.m. All of you are welcome to come there. The more the merrier, because then you give stiff competition to each other and you realize your own position. So July 23rd, 8:30 p.m. on Unacademy. The link will be shared on my Telegram group, or you can go to Unacademy and follow me. You will also see my schedule there. So you can go and enroll yourself for the class. It is a free class. Come there, 8:30 p.m. We will do current affairs questions. Yes? Thank you, Vivek. Suman, you will improve. See, it's just a second class and I'm glad you came to the class on time, right? But now with more information as we progress, Suman, all my students have progressed. When they had first come to my Unacademy classes, yes, when they were new joiners, they never used to feature on the leaderboards. But eventually they now dominate the leaderboards. With the time, with 7 or 8 sessions, you will yourself see the improvement. And I'm also there to help you out. So don't worry. All right? Right now, learn. Okay, guys? With that, I'll close for today. Thank you and have a very good day.